jump. Don't you ever get it crisscross. Bet against me, that's a big laugh.
Conferences collide in Week 14 as the Seahawks face the Texans for just the 5th time. Get ready for Chapter 6 next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
2 teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, Mayfield. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play there on the first play of the game.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out, something that lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
A nice throw there by Mayfield, a guy who really reemerged as the season and later the playoffs went on last year. What are defenses trying to do against him?
Well, the first thing defenses want to do is use his emotion against him because he's such a passionate player. But sometimes he comes up.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They run with Patterson. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Prater's kick is good. And It's now 3-0 Texans. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. To throw Mariota. It's caught. Beckham. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of in his career.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down, it's Gordon, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mariota. He's able to find Wallace. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate. Gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Mariota now. Touchdown, Seahawks. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Past the 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Texans.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
Well, let's be honest. A lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Now comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On play action, Mariota. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position, but as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Randy Gregory able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 35 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run.
Good catch and excellent creation of a big play downfield. I can guarantee you this. That's not a play this defense has practiced against in the days leading up to this game.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Patterson, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and man.
Thrown across his body and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 2nd and a couple, Mayfield. Oh, look at the catch there by Moore. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2. Going out of bounds. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Cordell Patterson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far, they've got his man complete. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't win.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the rookie from Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Mariota on first down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. That catch good for only a couple. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now Mariota. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Mayfield now. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Prater's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
It's caught by OBJ. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd and 10, Mariota, and brought in by the tight end Cook. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards. I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working there.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Texans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
After the pick up of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Once more, they turn to Patterson. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Mayfield on play action. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On first down, Patterson. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back now in Houston. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Patterson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Cordell Patterson. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes this a 9-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Mariota to throw it. He finds his target, Beckham. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And he's got this down to the 35.
Let's go!
Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Mariota's throw complete there to Beckham. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that'll move him back within 6 now. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
7 yards, the pickup there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
On 2nd down, Mostert.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the... Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their deep.